Get organized, the conversation. I'm excited. Well, of course, it's the end of the year, and I always have my conversation with Beth Macy. And I was thinking, yes, I'm excited, but then that means we're at the end of the year and we got to get ready for a new year. But we always end the year having a conversation about how both of us are living a simple life. So, Beth, welcome again.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a delight to be here. I love ending my year this way, even though as you said, it's the end of the year and the years seem to be going faster.
I know. I know. They seem to be going really, really, really fast, which unfortunately that's the way it is. But so what have you been up to? I know you're in your gym when I see all the different wonderful things, but what are some other things that you've been up to, Beth?
Well, I'm really excited today, Janet, because I've been working with a distributor to get my books out there. I've been working on the spy novel trilogy, Moscow Nights, and working with editors. And I was trying to find an agent, but everybody was writing books during COVID. Everyone is overwhelmed. So I thought, I want to write. I have book 4 up here. So I want to get to that. So why don't I just streamline it? And so it's been a fun process so far. The books are fully edited. They've just been formatted to be able to go online. It's exciting to see them in the new format. And I'm working with an illustrator on the covers. So um, it's really an exciting time for me right now.
It sounds
So
like it. It sounds like it. So in all that you do, because you do a lot. I mean, you are writing, but I know you're also doing a lot within your community. I love watching some of your videos. So with all the things you're doing, have you like let go of a little bit more? Have you simplified your life a little bit more in 2023?
Well, I have still been trying to declutter. As we've talked about before, you spend most of your life gathering, and then it's like, oh my God. Um, just yesterday, I opened a drawer. I think it's where odd pieces of silverware went to die, and decided that I would just take it and dump it out on the counter and get rid of stuff. And it was amazing. There were these things that I think my stepmother had given me. I had no idea what they did. And I must have been carrying them around for 20 some odd years. It was like, what does this do? Who cares? There's the garbage can. Throw it out. Throw it out. And the drawer looks fantastic. So that's inspired me to next. I think it's the Tupperware. I don't know where the tops or the bottoms go. It's like the socks in the dryer. But your Tupperware just seems to get mismatched over time. So that may be something that I take a little break from the concentrating on the book stuff and just take everything out of that cupboard and get rid of anything that doesn't match. So it really is,
And you're right. You're right. Sometimes it is amazing how, like with the socks,
yes, yeah, it's the layers of the onion as you go through, and we think that decluttering is this big thing that we have to do, and it's overwhelming if you think of it that way. But if you just take one cupboard, one drawer, and just attack it, it's so much easier after it's been done. And that question that I asked myself of when did I ever use this? You know those things that you use for honey, they're wooden and they've got the little swirly things on the end.
yes.
And so, I picked this out and it was brand new. It had been in that drawer for, I don't know how many years. I had never used it, but it was a cool thing, so I kept it. Right.
Hmm. Hmm. I know. I know. I know. I think for me, one of the things that really helped me was my godson moved into his first apartment. Oh, I was happy, Beth, because you know what? I went through my apartment and it really made me look differently at stuff. For example, I had two sets of measuring cups. I didn't need 2 sets. I do cook, but I'm not like the chef. So it was, and I had a new set. I said, so I gave him that. Then I had a really nice cutting board for, wine, cheese. I didn't use
Mhm.
that. And even if I do want one, I'm at a point now where, you know what? I'll just buy one when I do use it. I had it for a couple of years. Some big, huge, wonderful stoneware pans that you could bake with. They're fantastic. But for me at this point, they were a little bit too heavy. And I'm like, look, he's young. He's in his 20s. Look, he can pull that thing in and out the stove. So I think that was one of the best things for me. It was like, wait a minute, you're moving. I said, well, what do you need? He's like, well, actually, we need everything. And every time I was just going in drawers and closets and containers, taking pictures. He said, I'll take it all. Yes. And then when his mother came to visit, I said, I have some things I want you to put in your car. I can even help you. You can even sit in the car and I'll just do all the work. So that was like, yes, yes. And it's those opportunities, but you're right. It's just like a constant. It's like all the stuff that we accumulate over years. You look in the drawer and you're thinking, well, why am I holding on to this? I don't use it. So you're so
Yeah,
right. You're so right. So, thanks. And I love the way you say the peeling of the onion. I like that term.
yeah, yeah. The other thing I do is as I find something larger, since I don't know anyone yet, I'm waiting for my uh, grandniece to get to the age where I can say, "Here, your first apartment." But since I don't have that, anything large, I put at the garage door, and on a nice weekend that goes out to the street with a big free sign. I had one guy stop with his truck, and he said, "This is really free." I said, "Yeah, just take it." He says, "Oh my God, I need one of those," and whatever it was, and I was like, take it, take it, take it. So it's great satisfaction when
I
someone
do.
takes it, and also the smiles on their face of, "Oh, I need one of those." Great. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that is so true. And I love living in communities like that, Beth, because I had these 2 lamps. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do with them? They were doing nothing but sitting in the corner collecting dust. And like you, I put a sign on each one. I'm working. And I took them outside. Within less than 30 minutes, somebody had grabbed them. There was one lampshade left. And I said, well, somebody in this community is creative. They can use it. And therefore, I actually sat that out too. And oh, that's a dog. And that was going
Sorry.
to. I understand. I know. It's like, look, I want to be in on this interview too. So here
Yeah,
I am.
I try to find a place where she can't come to do this interview usually, but
Hmm.
um, she uh, snuck downstairs, and I didn't know she was here until she likes to put her ball underneath something and then go, "Oh, mother, look, it's under there. I don't know how it got there," and she'll deliberately nose it under there, and then, "Oh, I need that," but she's got it now, so hopefully she'll be quiet.
Well, that's all. That's how they are. So, do you have any like small or big organizing projects on the horizon for 2024, or just something or area that you like? You know what, Janet? I really want to simplify the area of my life.
Yeah, I want to attack the kitchen for sure. Get the drawers. There's the electrical drawer. Well, it's the drawer with all the matches, the candles, the batteries, and it's overflowing, right? I mean, it's gotten to a point where you can't find anything. So I really want to get the cupboards arranged right. My friend Corinne lives down in South Carolina, and she's my executor of my will. And whoever she visits, she's like, "Do I have to clean all this stuff out when you go?" So I feel I feel obliged to really keep this going so that if I predecease Corinne, it would be a little easier for her. I value her
I
friendship.
understand. I understand completely. Mhm, mhm, mhm. And I understand completely too, because I look at my stuff and I'm like, you know what? Somebody's got to come through here and actually clean this and get rid of stuff. So you're right. You are so right. And the woman who's my attorney, she gave me some good advice. She says sometimes we need to make a list. Like for example, say if you want to leave a lamp to someone, leave a list what the lamp is, what it looks like. Because one of our other clients, they said, "Oh, I'm leaving." They left a relative. "I'm leaving you the lamps." And,
Oh,
she went in the house thinking, okay, maybe it's one or two lamps. The woman had at least 20 lamps, and she didn't know which lamp she meant she was leaving. So sometimes those little details help as, too, as well. But I know for me, I think what I really want to tackle, and I may tackle it, but I'm definitely going to tackle it before the end of the year, is the keepsakes. The keepsake
yeah.
box you have of all the wonderful things. Like, for example, I came across a yearbook from junior high school because we had that middle, sometimes people middle, but we call it junior high. That was not even the year I was graduating. I'm not even in that yearbook. Why I have that yearbook from 1978? I'll put it out there. I have no idea. It's like, oh, you have got to go. So, so it's like, and it's like sometimes you just like ask yourself, why? Why was I keep? I
What?
mean, yes,
Where did it come
all the
from?
people I went to school with wrote nice little notes in it. Yeah, yeah. You always ask yourself, oh,
Yeah,
that's all right.
when you
That's
pick
all right.
something
Because you
up
know
and
what? Want to
you
be in the
wonder.
conversation.
Yeah, she's hopefully will be happy for a while. Usually I have a bucket of balls when I work upstairs, and I just throw balls the entire time,
Okay.
and it keeps her amused. But I only have one down here, so um, but she is a doll. I must admit, it's a great companion. She's a little couton de Toliere. Not many people
I
know that
know. I
breed.
see her sometimes.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, because I see her sometimes when you would do your exercises.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. She's a great. She loves to work out. Um, of course, she's so short. Downward dog is unnoticeable, but um,
Okay.
um, yeah. I that's another area that I should get to is I've got photo albums. I've got piles of photos that never made the albums. And I've got they are my yearbooks, I must admit. Um, my yearbooks, and you really think through, and they may be interesting to yourself, but really, who's going to care about a Dartmouth High School yearbook or a Bridgewater State College yearbook or it's like really the one that is interesting. I have one from when I taught at the Naval Academy Prep School, and it's got pictures of as the kids came in. Long
Oh,
hair was the style, and so they would shave half the head and take a picture. It really was funny to see the pictures of the kids with half the head shaved. But I mean, really, come on, Beth, get rid
mm,
of this
mm,
stuff.
mm.
So that may be
Yeah,
another one for
yeah,
next year
yeah.
because it's starting to bug me that I've just got this stuff in the corner. And what I love is once you do it, the feeling of room, the feeling of freedom that you get is amazing. So bit by bit, you know, bit by
Yes,
bit,
it
step by
is.
step.
It, yeah, and you're right. Bit by bit, bit by bit. You're right. Because I actually got rid of my report cards. I looked at those things, Beth, and I said, okay, who cares what I did in the third grade, really? And if you are going to, you know, consider me for something or look at my expertise and like, well, Janet, what did you do in third grade before we hire you for this? I'm like, like, I was like, out you go, out you go.
you
So,
you actually
and
have
amazingly, I came across a picture.
You've triggered another place for me to clean out. Thank you.
What were you saying,
Uh,
Beth?
my my third grade report cards. Um,
And I actually got rid of, I guess it must have been maybe 5 years old. Drew a picture. But then on the back, I was writing my name, practicing
oh
writing my
yes,
name out, my
yeah.
full name out. I came across that and I was like, you know what, I need to let it go. But what was interesting, Beth, is I had posted it online. So many people were like, are you actually going to get rid of that? Oh my goodness, you need to keep it. It's memorable. And I'm like, but why? Why? But it's interesting how, like you said, sometimes people are ready to get rid of stuff and some people are ready to hold on. But I was like, I was 5 years old trying to, learn how to write my name. I wrote it like 3 or 4 times on the back. My mother was probably somewhere in the kitchen or something, just looking at me like, there she goes again.
It's wonderful as long as we can remember those stories. I think that
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
as a human, we're born to be storytellers anyway. And just you telling me that story about writing your name made me remember writing my name. So, I don't need to see pictures of me writing my name or my name written on something. It just brought it back beautifully vivid of trying to keep, that straight line, right? Keep it between those lines on that ruled paper.
Oh, that is so true. Oh my goodness. But you know what, particularly that didn't even have lines. It was just a back of, you know what it was the back of? My mother must have bought some pantyhose. You know that little cardboard?
Yes.
And she must
Yeah.
have just given it to me just to play with. And I started drawing on it and writing on. So that my loving mother, she's like, here, play with that.
you know, that's mothers were good at that. Here, have a cardboard box. It's large. You can play in it. Okay. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the repurpose movement, Beth. That's what our
Yeah,
mothers did. It was the beginning. Oh,
that's
we're going to
it.
repurpose this thing. Okay, it's a cardboard box. Now it's going to be a toy.
Yep. Paper bags were Halloween outfits.
Hmm. Now, do you remember paper bags were also used to cover books?
Yes.
Did you
Now
do
that
that,
was
Beth, or was that just
Yes,
okay?
that was an art form. It was really difficult to figure out how to fold it so that it didn't fall off and it was tight. Um, but once you got it, it was such pride on the fact that you could cover your books with a paper bag.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Oh
The
my
nice part
goodness,
about
yes,
that
it was.
is you could
Whew.
really draw
Yeah.
on it and design what you wanted on your book, and people wrote on your book, and it's kind of fun.
It was. It really was fun. And then you kind of show it off to your friends what you did. You're right, it
Yeah.
was. Maybe I'll bring that back. Maybe they bought it back. I don't even know anymore. All
We,
I see is the tablets in the schools now. So, oh my goodness. Well, Beth, I always truly enjoy talking to you. So I know you've already mentioned some projects you're working on. So how can people connect with you to get your books, to learn out about your latest projects? I know now, are the ladies still walking in your
Oh,
community?
yes. Yeah, we just went walking on Sunday. We had been doing a little outdoor
Okay.
boot camp together, but it's too cold to do that now. But my running buddy and I
Mm-hmm.
just did a long uh, birthday run. What we like to do is run the years divided by 10. So every year it gets a little more difficult to do your birthday run. But the feeling of accomplishment that you get from having done that now longer run um, is great. We've done that, and I'm going to be working on uh, getting the books published. Each book has its own website, but this uh, company is going to make one website for me. I do have the bethmacy.com website that links everything together anyway, but I will have one website for the series, and then each book will have a separate um, website. If people just Google Moscow Nights Return, they'll get the first website in the series, because it's a um, Moscow is one of the venues that each book is set in, but they have wonderful global venues that the spies are traveling through, and they're an easy read, a good read. So that's really, like I said, when we first started talking, I'm so excited because we're hoping to at least get the first book out in ebook form for the Christmas, so late for Christmas, but you have that last minute gift. Google and see if Moscow
Yeah.
Nights Return is out there. So that's exciting. And then I'll be working on book 4. I'll be doing my personal training. I had 2 art shows this year. Sold a lot of paintings, which is good, and I have one set up for next September. So I'll be painting over the summer, getting ready for that one. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment.
And that is so exciting. That is so exciting. And of course, listeners, I will definitely have links to Beth's website so you can check out her books, but also just find out all the other projects she's working on. And of course, once again, Beth, I thank you so much for just taking time out of your schedule just to have this year-end conversation with me, our little annual conversation.
Well, I love it, and so good to see you again, Janet. And thank you so much for having me on again. It really is a highlight of this time of year for me. So thank you.